Welcome back to another episode of the Yak Crew. Today is definitely going to be a little bit different. Before I bought this kayak, I looked up all kinds of reviews on it. I really didn't find what I wanted to online. So today, me and Walker have decided together that we needed to do a real review of how the EX123 actually works and the fishability. That's the big thing for me when it comes to a kayak, is the fishability there. So without further ado, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to dive right into this. I'm going to show you some things that I found out about the kayak and some of the features that come with it. So the first thing I want to talk about on this kayak is what they did with the front of it. Well, I guess before we get to this, I need to talk about how they designed the front of the kayak, because it treks amazing. This piece right here, what they did was awesome. I've stored baits in here when I was fishing a tournament that don't go anywhere. When I want to get to something quick, then I think this is cool too. Say you have your paddle, we're filming, I keep this undone like this. The paddle will slide right in right there, and I'm able to have my paddle secure. I'm able to pick up a camera and start filming for whatever we're doing, and I'm not worried about it going anywhere. So this piece right here is actually all bungee. You can remove this thing completely. And like I was saying, I put baits under here that I kind of hung out the side along this railing, to where when I was fishing, the tournament I just fished, I was able to just reach up here, grab another one, and slide it right on. So I think that's a really cool thing they did with the front of this kayak. When I first got it, I didn't know how much I'd use it, and it turns out to be like one of the features I love most about this kayak is having this right here. The other cool thing they did is they left this spot up here that just so happens to be perfect for a GoPro mount. So that's another thing I've kind of figured out that other people haven't talked about. I don't know if anybody else is doing YouTube out of their EX123, but I think these are both cool features that kind of fit the niche that me and Walker do when we're on the water filming and fishing. So moving on up, you got the drain plug right here, and the way they designed this was definitely different too. It unscrews, and you can set your kayak on the ground and lift it up from the back, and all the water comes up this and will come out right here. No problems draining it. That's a big issue with sit inside kayaks. I've been fishing for 10 years out of a kayak, well, plus 10 years now, and I've always been a sit inside kind of guy. And this thing right here, when I seen this kayak the first time and I seen they did the drain plug, somebody was paying attention when they designed this thing. This thing right here is golden. It definitely works. You undo this right here and it flips right up, and this will actually come all the way out if you want it to. It fastens down, no water's going there at all. Keeps your phone cool on summer days when you're on the river for a long time or fishing for a long time and you don't want anything to overheat. I put my wallet in here, my keys in here. I trust it. It actually works really good. One of the cool things they did too when they designed this, there's a lot of people out there fishing tournaments. The kayak fishing tournament thing is getting pretty big now. When this lid lifts up, there's ridges right there. Set your phone right there if you want to get a selfie. Boom. You got something that can hold a phone for you while you take a fish selfie. I think that's really cool. Bonafide definitely did you right on this one. You're thinking, okay, well, what if I don't want the dash there? If you don't want the dash there, no problem, dude. If you want to clean it, no problem, dude. You got 3 screws. They come out really easily. And I do this now when I transport this kayak as well. So say you're cleaning it or you want a little extra room to put something in there, boom. Still got your dry box. You can put it in the back hatch back there and you have all this space right here. I will recommend anybody that gets this kayak, if you were traveling from point A to point B, make sure you take this console off. It is sturdy, and the actual console will stay on there. I had this kayak maybe 5 days. I didn't fasten this down all the way, and my lid of my dry box flew off going down the road. But guess what? Bonafide's so cool. I called them and said, hey man, can I buy one? They said, no problem. We'll send you one for free. I'm not a spokesman for Bonafide at all. I'm trying to give you a true review, and I can say the customer service standpoint on this was exceptional. Before we move on from this dash area right here, I just also wanted to point out that you have plenty of room to add a depth finder up here if you want to on either side. Me and Walker are more of the primitive type. That's not something we've really moved into. We love to go out there and try to find the fish the old-fashioned way. So we're gonna move down now, and I'm gonna talk about this middle section right here. It's designed where you have this space right here where the water comes up, and then you have 2 flat spots right here with your grips. You definitely have a lot of room to put a tackle box underneath here, and that's what I do. My tackle box when I'm not traveling and I'm fishing is right here. And it's designed so well, I don't have any problem setting the hook on a fish, standing up fishing. That comes into play big time during the bedding season. And before we move too far ahead, one thing I wanted to talk about as well is these pedals down here actually have grip on them too, almost similar to the matting in the bottom for your feet, and they're easy to adjust. All you do is grab, there's a clip on the back here, and you can just slide it up, it's in place, slide it back, it's in place. But definitely awesome how they made this gear track to where it's easy to adjust, and it's made to where anybody can be comfortable in this thing. So I think that's cool. Now, I mentioned before when I was talking about the dash earlier in the video, I remove it and put it in my truck. I recommend doing the same with your seat. When I got this kayak, Kevin Fox actually told me, he said people look for them seats, leaving it in the parking lot, something if they need a seat, they'll grab it. But for me, one thing I found out too, my longest rod here is a 7.4. So we're talking about traveling from point A to point B to get to the spot. Check this out. So this is a 7.4 rod that I've got right here. Check it out. 7.4. Boom, rods are secure. I take one of these grips right here, put it around my rods like that, they're not going anywhere. My rods literally sit flush to the bottom of my kayak while I'm going down the road. I don't have to worry about them flying out. Bump board, see this railing right here? I'll take the fish grip, paddle, doing the same thing on the other side. I take it, put it in, put it behind that bar just like that. Everything's secure. I don't have to worry about anything getting damaged. You see that's not going anywhere. My rods are good. Bump boards over here. Don't have to worry about anything going anywhere. I think that's cool that you're actually able to put your rods all the way down inside your kayak. I thought that was a cool feature, so I wanted to share that with you guys. It never got talked about in any of the videos I watch, and it's definitely working for me from getting from point A to point B. So now that we're getting into the cockpit a little bit, I'm going to talk about the driver's seat, of course, and I'm going to talk about this area right here. One thing I've done personally with this is you have these bars in here where when they did the seat, again, they did not take the cheap way out, but I've added fish grips. This is something that comes into play for me when I'm filming. If I catch a fish and I need to get in position or get with Walker so we can film and document, I can put it on the grips and hang them off the side in the water, and it's not stressing the fish out at all, and it's totally secure. That right there is a big thing for me in filming, is being able to have an area where I can have these and they're not in my way. When I'm in the kayak fishing, they sit just like this. I just have paracord, and I still have all the room I normally have. So we're gonna get into the seat a little bit now. Very comfortable. I fished sun up to sundown a couple times now on this kayak, and that's kind of why we waited to do this video. We wanted a true representation of what we thought. The seat is comfortable. You can sit all day in this thing. Me and Walker talked about doing a 24-hour challenge in kayak. I don't know if I could do that. Never know. You have to stay tuned. Might happen. You can take the seat all the way out. It's got a bungee back here, and it fully adjusts. I'm going to show you one thing really quick before I take it out. For me, being in a kayak and fishing, I want to be comfortable, but I want my things to be where I can get to them when I need them. When I did that tournament and started carrying a bump board with me, I found out this will sit right here perfectly. There's no flex, it's not hurting the board at all, and when I need it, I can just reach back, grab it like that, boom, it's in my lap, I'm ready to measure a fish. I thought that was pretty cool. I've also put shoes back here for walking in the water with. If I need to get to some bait easily, back here is another spot. But it's got this bungee that keeps your seat like that. So you can unclip this bungee right here, and the seat comes right out. And you can see it's a really cool design. It's adjustable to where you can adjust it the way you want to. And it'll actually, say you're fishing, you stop on the river somewhere, maybe you want to drink a cold one real quick, you're just trying to chill in the water or something, boom. What's up? Walker, go get your boy a beer. I'm joking, but it's comfortable. Either you're sitting on the ground or in the kayak, it's comfortable. So we've talked about traveling and what I kind of do with my rods and some of the things I've kind of figured out with this kayak that have helped me out a little bit. I want to show you one more thing while we're right here. This right here is all a wall. It's all solid. And that's going to come into play in a minute when we get back here and start talking about that, about this dry storage area. So we're going to move now and kind of talk about these rod holders right here. And this is another thing that really shocked me when I got in this kayak and started fishing out of it. Most kayaks rod holders do that number right there. You're kind of at an angle, right? This right here, straight up and down, which I think is sick. If you watch our other videos, I'm really big on side casting, sidearm casting, roll casting, trying to skip a little bit when I can, but none of this ever gets in my way. And if I want to cast overhead, it doesn't get in my way right here too. So the way they design that is also awesome. This space right here, definitely have room to actually add more rod holders if you want to as well. That might be something I look into later on. I'm definitely going to do some different things with this thing. Then you got the American flag right here too. It's made in the USA. Shout out to all those, you know, that had family that suffered September 11th. That's a day nobody will ever forget. Me and Walker were about to film this segment right here, and we seen the American flag, and we both kind of thought of it. So anybody that had family or anything to do with that, it's definitely a day Americans will never forget. Definitely think it's cool that Bonafide puts the Made in the USA thing on here. So it gives you a little bit of swag on the water if you feel me. So moving to this back hatch right here, which I also think is really cool. You've got these bungees right here that are very sturdy, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys something really quick that helps me when I'm on the water filming. My GoPro, I always keep my batteries in this pocket right here. I've got it unzipped right now. Normally it's zipped. You can just take this thing right across like that. It's not going anywhere, and I have easy access to fresh batteries for my GoPro. Nothing ever goes anywhere. I'm not worried about losing anything on the water. Also, something I'm looking into is you have plenty of room to where you can put a cooler on top of this, and you've got extra bungee straps right here. Whether you want something to be tighter fastened down, I will probably put a cooler here and run a different bungee through this, maybe add a couple more, but you got tons of room. You could get one of the coolers that have 2 rod holders on the back and have 2 more rods sticking up right here. I'm looking into it right now. Probably be something that I eventually do, but you've got plenty of space right here to put anything, to strap something down, a shirt that you don't want on because you're on the river, a book bag, a cooler. Definitely cool how they left this with enough space where you could put something on top. Storage is key in this thing. This is all dry storage back here. They talked about when this kayak came out, it was the SUV of kayaks for camping and everything else. I can see that with this kayak. You've got this total dry part back here. As you can see, I keep my wheels in here for when we're going somewhere where I need to strap wheels to the bottom, which the bottom is very flat. Wheels work perfect on this thing. I got my life vest back here for tournament fishing. My tackle bag stays back here when I'm traveling. I got a pair of shoes, and there's still more room back there. Everything stays completely dry. We did a trip the other day where we kept a cooler in there, and I gotta say, it kept the drinks cold all day long. We never had a hot drink. Like, this thing helped shield the sun from the bag cooler we had in here. It did a good job of it. Things I put in there I didn't want to get wet, it's done a really good job of it. I've been in the rain one time in this thing. It wasn't bad rain, but the dry box I have on the front and the dry storage in the back, nothing got wet. We're gonna talk about one more thing, and that's the handles they did on this kayak. Such an easy handle to pick up and carry. Added to that is the weight. I think this kayak is 65 pounds. It's easy to get in and out of the truck, easy to put in the river. It's so light, it's easy to pull over rocks if you've got to. If you're trying to get in the real small fishing areas, it's definitely a plus how they did this. The handles being this sturdy is like seals the deal for me. Like I said, they did not go the cheap way on this kayak. I think it's an awesome invention. It looks sleek and sick on the water, which I love. I'm stoked to have one. I'm not trying to drive anybody to buy anything. We did this video specifically for people that are interested in this kayak. They want to know how it acts on the water and what you can do with it. Before we leave, always make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to Dustin at #1 Bait and Tackle for all of our tackle needs and doing things for us. I'll probably get some stickers made for this bad boy soon. And if you're interested in one of these kayaks in the area, make sure you go check out Kevin Fox at Southern Moon Outfitters. His info is in the bottom as well as Dustin. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this video helped you, and me and Walker will catch you on the next one. Peace.